Alright, so now we're going to head down the street just a ways to the graveyard. I'll let you know what the name of it is when we get there, because things like that just tend to fall right out of my head sometimes, and I'll forget what places are called. But that's where we're headed now. There is some gorgeous real estate out here in Covington. Some of these homes go for the up in the millions. Some of these, I guess you could call them estates, historical estates. At any rate, they're a little bit too upscale for my taste. But yeah, some of these homes actually sell for millions of dollars out here, and they're beautiful. I mean, they're no question about it. They're gorgeous homes. They're historical. I guess like that style house right there. Would you call that like Greek Revival, or I think that's Greek Revival. And then you got some Victorian style homes. Check out that old historical building right there. At one point, I think that was a all women's gym or something like that. Anyway, this is the cemetery. All dogs must be on a leash. Clean up after your dog. I was hoping I'd see a sign to tell me what the name of this place is, but apparently they don't believe in that kind of thing around here, so I'm just gonna go. Well, I had the Old Covington Cemetery. I'll just go with Old Covington Cemetery here. Why don't we take a quick drive around the place? Tell you what, I'll open the sunroof. I'll stick you out there so you can see a little bit better. Old Covington Cemetery, check it out. That's interesting. There's another way in down there on the other side. I'm gonna see if I can get to that other gate to get into this place. I didn't realize that. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Look at that building I was showing you earlier. This is Conyers Street. Okay? In case you were wondering what road this is, that the Academy Springs Park and the cemetery are both on. This is Conyers Street. Wow, look how close that duplex or apartment is to the cemetery. That's pretty crazy. I came over on this side because I was hoping to find another place where there could be a sign giving this cemetery an actual name, an official name. But apparently there's no sign over here either, so that was a waste. Look at these graves though. These are some old graves. Some of these are really old. I'm gonna park right here. We're gonna get out. We're gonna have a look-see around this place. This is very, very interesting. When I filmed the music video, I was over on the other side. So I don't think I've ever actually been on this side before. This ought to be pretty cool. Alright, so we're here. Like I said, Old Covington Cemetery is what I'm going to call this place because I didn't see a name anywhere else. Right off Conyers Street. In the historical part of Covington. Eliza L. Hopkins. Born April 10th, 1830. Departed this life the 5th of August, 1831. A baby. Not even 2 years old yet. Back then there was a very, very high mortality rate for infants. Huge magnolia tree. What's this one say? Freeman. I think the camera can pick up things like this better than my eyes can. So you guys, you'd have to tell me what this says. I can't read it. Right here we got a patched tombstone. 1804. Died April 9th, 1857. Get an idea how old these are just by looking at their location and correspondence to the plants around them. For instance, this grave here is so close to this enormous tree. So back then the tree was obviously very small, and today it's enormous. Gotta wonder though, these aren't some of the earliest tombstones you'll find in Covington. Look of it. Very, very old. Born March 1st, 1790. Died November 23rd, 1872. It almost looks like a 15, but it's an 18. I'm starting to wonder, maybe some of these tombstones are older than the city of Covington itself. Pretty sure they are. Some of them. Hopefully, after I edit this video, I'll be able to read that though. It's too bright out here. I know the last word of that passage there is God though. I can see that. From the people of God. She is gone to the... Yeah, I can't read it. Oh, I can read this one. Sacred to the memory of Frances A. Usher, wife of Robert O. Usher, born July 25th, 1821. Her life, private and public, was an exemplification of the highest type of a Christian woman. On February 15th, 1896, she left her earthly for her heavenly home. Usher. Wow, look at these over here. Man. Yeah, I can't tell. Can't tell. This is a reverend here. Reverend John Jones. Wow. What an enormous cedar tree that was at one point. Check out the bark on this tree. Huh. See what I mean? It's interesting how that tree grew there, right behind this grave. It's a baby. Wow. That's sad. 5 months old. Little Mary. I'm gonna walk down there to the other side. So over here we have a mausoleum. Some freshly buried people here. The inside of the mausoleum is locked. Okay, so this is the main part that we drove through earlier. I saw some places in here that I wanted to check out. When I filmed the music video, I was over in that area, over there. Today I'm gonna go down here though. There is one thing I want to show you over there that's pretty awesome, but I'll do that at the end, I guess. It's like we got more babies or small children here. Baby. And a 3-year-old. Can't help but feel the sadness of that. It's almost overwhelming to look at that. Knowing that I have 2 sons. It's really sad. Can't imagine losing a baby, you know? That'd be like the hardest thing ever to get over. Kind of hard to see the surface of it because it's in the shade. Very cool. U.S. Marine, World War II. It's like a friar. Yeah, it is, because look. It's a friar. I'm not exactly sure what a friar is, though. A monk? I don't know. Not really sure about that. Maybe you guys can help me out. If you know what a friar is, if it's a monk or if it's different than a monk, leave a comment down below the video. What's a friar? Well, out of the enormity of this place, the scale of it and all the tombstones, this one stood out to me. Can you see it? Is that better? I mean, it's new, 2012. I just thought it was cool. Wonder how they did that. It's like it's painted. I wonder how that's gonna stay on there without fading away. It looks really cool though. '95, '96. This one's got Bible verses. Her children arise up and call her blessed. Proverbs. I think I'm going to circle back around this way. I've never been over here before on this end. See what's over here. Find out if there's anything interesting over here, and if not, then there's one other thing I want to show you in this place. And that'll be it. So nothing super fascinating over here. I just thought it looked cool. What do you guys think? an idea of the scale of this place. Pretty big. Not as big as Decatur Cemetery, but still pretty big. That's not a great place right there. It's older. Tombstones right here. 1920. $1860. So every now and then you'll see something like this, but it's not very common. Where the whole plot has been filled in with concrete. It's not a common thing to see, but every now and then you'll see stuff like that. I think the reason why is because the people, when they're buried with their belongings, their valuables, whatever they had requested to be buried with, and they're probably are valuables. So I guess that's just a measure of precaution so people wouldn't rob the graves, which was very common back in those days in the 1800s. That happened a lot. People would dig graves up and just rob whatever valuables or possessions they could find, pretty much. Check this one out. That's pretty cool. Memory Lane. I like that a lot. Book of Life. That one's very nice. I like that. I'm glad I came over here on this side. Alright, now we're getting closer to the area where I filmed the music video. Just over here. You see those flags waving in the wind up there? That's where we're headed. I want to show you something really cool over here. I know I showed you the one spot where the Confederate soldier was buried. Well, there's a lot of them buried over here. And I didn't know that this was here until last time I came out here. So we'll just walk over here and check this out. Here sleep 67 known and 8 unknown Confederate heroes, men who died of disease and wounds in the several Confederate hospitals located here. Many of those who died were reburied elsewhere. In 1862, 63, and 64, the Hill Hood, Lumpkin, and receiving hospitals were located in Covington. 30 new hospital buildings not yet occupied were destroyed in Girard's raid, July 22nd through 24th, 1864, as was other valuable hospital equipment. Hospitals were under the immediate supervision of Samuel H. Stout, Medical Director, Confederate Army of Tennessee. More than 20,000 Confederates were treated in them. Georgia Historical Commission, 1956. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting relic of remembrance to check out if you ever come out here to Old Covington Cemetery. Anywho, that is historical Old Covington Cemetery for those who were curious or fascinated with the video. I know that it was a rather lengthy video, which is what I like to do from time to time. Put some lengthy videos out there for the people that enjoy watching lengthy videos. I know that the majority of people enjoy fast, heavily edited videos. Those seem to be the ones that get the most views on YouTube and such. But me, myself, and I'm sure some other people probably enjoy lengthy videos that are informative. The main skew of what I like to do when I make videos, especially cemetery videos, is get as much real-time footage as I can. That way you feel almost like you're there. So that's what I did with this video. Hope you guys enjoy it. Those of you, like I said, that enjoy lengthy videos. I'll leave it at that though. Anyway, this is my location video for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for another one next week. Stay tuned for my personal vlogs, my Bible vlogs, and other random videos to be posted on my website. If you want to subscribe, again, just click the button on the top right hand corner. Click the link down here in the bottom corner, or simply type into your web browser www.youtube.com/why-did-the-nations-rage ? No spaces. Hit enter. It'll take you to my main channel page where you can subscribe and see all my videos. Also, check me out on Facebook, www.facebook.com/why-did-the-nations-rage ? No spaces, no ? Hit enter. It'll take you to my Facebook page. Send me a message, guys. I want to hear from you. I look forward to it. I'll catch you later. God bless. Have a nice day. Right there. Aunus Zarulala. Chautauqua. Something. That sounded ignorant. I'm sorry.
Oh no, Dasher has fallen over. He has fallen over. Emergency! Emergency!
Hello, Mr. Squirrel. How are you doing today? Are you gathering nuts? It's winter time. Don't you know it's winter? Shouldn't you be sleeping in a tree somewhere? Did you run out of food? Are you on an errand to pick up more food, Mr. Squirrel? Is that what it is? Look, I'm gonna open my door. He's gonna go running. Check it out. Oh, he's not as squeamish as I thought he would be. He's still chilling over there. Alright, anyway, let's go. Let's do this.
I'll give you some extra footage of Covington Square for those of you that are interested in it. I know that ever since so many movies came out that were filmed here in Covington, new and old. Since then, people have grown fascinated with this city, and there has been quite a bit of piqued interest here. So, take a gander around. This here is Floyd Street. This is where the $1 million estates that I spoke of before. This is where I know at least one of them went for over $1 million on Floyd Street. One of these homes. But many historical properties here in Covington. Once again, this here is a shot of the square. There's the famous, well-known clock tower there at the Covington Courthouse. That's pretty much the icon of Covington right there. You see that, you automatically think Covington. Here's Covington Square, which I'll do a video about. When I do the Covington video, I'll come out here. There's a statue in the middle. There's some placards out there. So stay tuned for that stuff if you're interested. There's a lot of shops, antique stuff. There's some tourist stuff around. It's got more information about the sites where the movies and the shows were filmed. There's a lot of placards. I see lots and lots of placards around here with all kinds of information on them. So I'll try to get those when I do the Covington video. Some more houses down here on this end. Some bigger properties. I always like that one right there. It's abandoned. It's probably owned by the bank. I'm assuming it is. It's got a large for sale sign on it. Over there. It's like another abandoned house right there. It's a beautiful city. There's a sign up there on the telephone pole that says eat, drink, and buy local. Which I agree with. If you can afford to shop at the locally owned stores, go right ahead and do that. Support your local economy. Quit feeding corporate monsters like Walmart and start supporting your mom and pop stores once again, because they're going out of business all over the place. It's really sad. It's really sad how we keep feeding the fat stomach of corporate America. I'll say that, and I'll leave it at that. Welcome to Covington sign right there. We're actually leaving Covington. I don't know. That's a little strange. But we're actually headed toward Porterdale now. Driving down 81, headed toward Porterdale. We'll drive straight through Porterdale. In case you're still watching, I'm just giving you a little tour of the older parts of Newton County, the more historical parts. This right here is just the portion of Highway 81 that's in between. You got businesses and such. Not much history, but you got plenty of businesses in between Covington Square and downtown Porterdale. I've heard something about Porterdale in the past, and that is that their police department is oppressive, and that there are very low speeds. Check it out, that's OMR, Oconee Metal Recovery. That's where you go to scrap metal. Pretty cool. There's another scrap yard around here somewhere, but anyway, yeah, the police department is oppressive. They've got 35 and 25, and even in one part, 20 miles per hour going through Porterdale, which is understandable. But I've heard that if you go 26 miles per hour in the 25, you'll get a ticket. And I don't know if that's true. I doubt that's true, but I have heard that. So I'm not saying that they're oppressive in that they put a 25 miles per hour speed limit sign. I'm just saying they're oppressive in that if you go 1 mile over 25 miles per hour, you will get a ticket. I don't know if that's true. I've heard that. Maybe it's just a threat to scare people so that they will do the speed limit. I'm not really sure. I've heard both, though. I've also heard that if you go under 25 miles per hour, you'll get a ticket for doing that. So, I don't know. Neither of those things have ever happened to me. There's a building right there that was once a restaurant. It's a church now. That's a pretty nice looking building, though. Pretty interesting. Historical homes. A lot like Millstead, Georgia. Porterdale is very similar to Millstead, Georgia, in that you've got all these homes, these duplex style old bungalow type homes with 2 front doors that were once duplexes. And basically this town was a mill town. All these homes, basically the whole economy thrived off of the Porterdale Mill, which is down here on the left. I'll show it to you. There's an old church there, United Methodist Church. There's an old gymnasium there with another placard in front of it. These buildings are newer. They look old, but they're newer. This here is a loft apartment complex, but it used to be a mill at one point. It was a mill. And basically the whole economy of Porterdale thrived off of that mill right there. Now loft apartments. So in that, Porterdale is very similar to Millstead. Very similar towns. See, right here you got 20 miles per hour. If you were to go straight instead of veering to the right, you'd have 15 miles per hour. People are looking at me like I'm insane because I'm filming while I'm driving. I don't care. I'm doing this for you guys. Anyway, that's pretty much it. That's Porterdale for you. May or may not do a video about Porterdale. I'm not too enthusiastic about this place. It doesn't have that well or that good of a reputation in comparison to some of the other older cities around here, but we'll see.